Hi everyone, thanks for coming to Pot About with me today. I am going to be showing you my African violet setup which I have. This is one of the setups which I have. It's just a makeshift shelving unit which I used, and basically I think it was like a vegetable rack which I got. I had recently, at the time when I'd set it up, bought these miniatures and semi-miniatures, so I've got a range of them there, but I just ran out of space on my regular rack, and I ended up needing to get something which, how do I say, could still house, I guess, all of my violets, but that didn't take up too much space. So I ended up just going to one of the local hardware stores and finding this. It was literally just a vegetable rack. And it's got 3 tiers. I'm only using 2 of them, so I'm using the bottom one, which I have the LED light strips on the top, and then I'm using the middle one just so I can put the light strips on the top. There's a third rack here, but I'm not using that just because I've got nothing to put above it to hold any lights. So essentially it's just two shelves of violets, and I haven't really displayed them nicely, but I am finding that out of all of my setups, this is the most effective one in terms of lighting. In terms of width, I would say this is maybe about a maybe a 14-inch across or wide, and then I would say maybe about from the bottom right up to the top, I would say maybe about, so maybe like a 30-inch, I guess, height. Might be a little bit less, maybe 25 to 30 inches. I probably should have measured it before anyway. But it was just quickly to show you how I do have my setup. I've got some of my plants here on wick watering systems. I am going to do a separate video just on how I water my violets. But as you can see, it's just an 8 centimeter pot with a plastic container. I think it's a 8 ounce. I forgot how many ounces it is there, but they just sit in nicely, and then I've got the wicks on them. Now, specifically, I also wanted to just go through, now they are a bit crowded, of course, so, but that's just because I find that this lighting works so well, and it's just these strips, which is what I wanted to talk about in general today. So I'm using Energizer light strips, as you can see. Obviously, it's just something that I bought at the shop. They are, is it 12? I think it's a 12 volt, 1 watt. The model is 338605, and I just find that I also have it on a timer basically, so oops, it's out of focus there. So sorry about that. So I also find that the timer, lost track of what I was saying. So basically I have it on a timer. It's on for about 10 to 12 hours a day, but I find with these lights, because I have 2 setups as well, but with the LEDs that I'm using here, it must be something in the light, and I need to do my research on this, but these violets tend to do so much better under this light. So whenever I took my violets from my other setup and put them underneath here, they would go from not flowering to flowering within a couple of weeks. As you can see, like even just my plants, we've got such good variegation in the middle. This is a trailing violet, and like you can have a look and see there's just, I've had this plant for, it'll be a year in February. It's now November basically, and this plant is going to be flowering for the first time. It's a Dixie Doris, I believe, and I'll do a separate video on that. But this is also one of my, this one here is a semi-miniature that I have, and or it might actually just be a miniature, but that one's going to flower, and here's another one as well. Let's have a look and see. This one is, at the back is Little Bo Peep. This is Dixie Doris, and the one right in front here is indigo ruffles. So basically this is the setup that I have, and it's just more to show you what I have found successful when growing violets. I've never really used artificial light before, so I am still experimenting, but I would definitely, and I have been looking for the Energizer light strips again as well. Going into winter, because it is darker, I'm going to be more reliant on artificial lighting, so it's going to be interesting just to see. But I just wanted to share with you what my setup is like. It's just a tiny little vegetable rack, but it really works well for me. And as you can see, I've got my Rob's Wascally Wabbit there. I've got this, it's one of the Russian trailers. It is actually a very interesting plant, but I'll do a separate video on that. And then there's my goose feet as well, which I've put in the video. So that one's still flowering, and I've got the Layla Marie here as well. That's a standard, obviously very big plant, so it's gonna get bigger than that, but I don't think I want to transplant it any bigger. And this is the Sparkleberry, which is coming to the end of its blooms, but very pretty flowers nonetheless. It's actually having more flowers, so you see, I think these lights just work really well. So if you're a bit confused just on lighting, I would recommend this. They are obviously plant specific grow lights, which I am tempted to buy, and I think I will get some and do it on a separate video just to see which ones work better. But yes, if you have any questions or any comments below on the lights that you use, I would love to hear and see your setups and how you're getting along as well, because I'm also learning in terms of lighting. As I say, this is my second setup, which seems to be doing well. My initial one, I'm just using LED lights, which is not working. I will do a separate video on that one as well, and even just showing you the setup that I have. But once I find out which lights work, I will then get that all sorted out, and hopefully I can get more violets growing on those ones, and then I'll get them just performing much better. So all very exciting stuff. Thank you very much for watching. If you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe and just to hit the notification bell, so whenever I put up a new video, you'll be able to see it as well. Thank you guys again. Hope you have a lovely weekend. Bye bye.